So, the Fett, supposedly the galaxy's best bounty hunters. The dad walks backwards until his head gets chopped off, and the son gets poked in the back by some guy who can't even see clearly and dies. So why do people think these guys are good again? So, hello and welcome to another SH Figuarts review. I'm just gonna say this right now. I recommend this figure, just get it. Right, currently this guy's price has dropped. He costs the same as a Black Series figure, at least in Hong Kong now. You're overseas, you're gonna have to pay for shipping, and you know, vice versa for me. I'm overseas to you, so if I want a Black Series figure, I'm gonna pay the, you know, the price of it plus the shipping. So this is actually, for me, cheaper than a Black Series in Hong Kong. So, yeah, just, you know, it's cheap. The price dropped on day one. Just get this one and forget the Black Series one. So, but for more details, stay tuned. Accessory-wise, he comes with the fist already attached to the body, as well as a pair of relaxed hands that also slightly spray open, so they can either be relaxed or he's, I don't know, trying to grab something, stop something. And then he has a pair of gun-holding hands with the finger pointing out on either side, as well as a pair of gun resting hands, so you can pose him holding his blaster rifle in either arm facing either way. And of course he has his blaster rifle here. I just have the hand on there, not bother taking it off. It's a little bit flimsy to plug the hand onto it, but once it's on there it's very secure. The hand is made of a soft-ish plastic, so there shouldn't be any snapping happening. The rifle itself is basically in two colors. You got the more black, metallic black shininess on the front, and the back is just a matte brown. It's built okay, it looks the part, I guess, and well, yeah, it's just Boba Fett's blaster. And that's it for his accessories. Not even a firing rocket, or he can't even detach the rocket from his backpack. And I find that very disappointing. So here he is, the bounty hunter. Now, Jango Fett SH Figuarts came out a long time ago, and his price dropped so hard. And Boba Fett's price dropped as well. Back then I thought they weren't going to release a Boba Fett SH Figuarts, because when they released the Jango Fett Figuarts, they also released the Bandai model kit, Boba Fett. So I thought, you know, one model kit, one SH Figuarts, they can both sort of fit in the same scale. That's why they won't release Boba Fett, but whatever. I'm still quite glad eventually they release a Boba Fett. And with the Mandalorian TV series coming out, I wonder if Bandai will make any figures for that. So yes, just before we move on any further, the price of this guy is the same price as a Black Series figure. I've seen it for 180 Hong Kong dollars. I did pre-order this for a high price, but the shop I got it from, Google Toys, did reduce the price down lower to, you know, some of the other shops. Not as low as 180, that's the lowest I've seen it, but he did reduce it quite a lot. So yeah, this is for a brand new release, this is probably the cheapest SH Figuarts Star Wars figure. So if you like Boba Fett, I would just say, you know, go ahead and try and grab him before the price goes back up. Anyway, back to the figure itself. Over the helmet, he has some nice sort of silvery patches here and there. A little bit on the clean side, but I'm okay with that. There's only other details on the side right there. His little communicator visor radio thing or scanner does come down. It is a little bit on the flimsy side, so be careful with that. I mean, it is a very thin piece of plastic, so be careful with that. Now, it would have been nice if they used some sort of die-cast metal in this, but we don't have that, so we just have soft-ish plastic. Be careful. I'm going to stop moving that now. It's a little bit too much. Right, but the rest of the helmet itself looks really good, and so does the neck, actually. Moving down to the chest area, he does have the direct, like the two joints like any other SH Figuarts, but they didn't bother giving him a big cut slot in the middle there. I think I would have been okay either way, because look, I mean, it's perfect. They actually have that cut there in the armor shape. Why did they go this way? I have no idea why. They really could have just had the cut in there and had a more traditional SH Figuarts stomach joint, but whatever. He still has his motions from like stomach and stuff, so that's fine, I guess. Again, all of this is a little bit on the clean side, but overall it still looks pretty decent. Got some nice gradients there on his shoulder pads. Moving down, the belts look okay, a little bit of shiny dab right there, and the rest of the overall suit does look quite good as well. Moving over to the back, this cape piece is sort of a soft-ish plastic, and it comes out really easily. This feels like you had one of the early Showa Kamen Rider Figuarts just lying there for a while, and the fabrics just keep coming off. It's very annoying. Print on there is pretty nice. This piece comes out, by the way, not by design, they just didn't bother gluing it down. but I guess if you want to say that's like a poison dart, he could fire that. And oh, quick look at the backpack here. It's painted quite nicely, but again, this doesn't come off. It's really annoying, and do be careful of not snapping that too. One last thing about this figure that's also very annoying is yeah, this piece here. It's not glued down to anything, so when you're moving his arms around, it can have a tendency to not do it on camera. But you know, if you move these things out, this thing can just like sort of like pop down sometimes, and that can get in the way. So be careful of that, I guess. But for the most part, it's okay. And in a way, I'm also glad that it's not permanently glued down. It just makes kind of sense that it's like that. But oops, oh, it's fallen off. So yeah, whatever are these things anyway. Right, over the articulation itself. For such a bulky figure, he has a very good smooth neck joint. He can move around a lot. I mean, you know, the shape of the helmet does get in the way, and so does this rocket, but overall he can move it so much. By the way, these scratch marks on the back, are they because he keeps like scratching his helmet on the back of this rocket, so this rubs off all the paint? These shoulder pads do come down a little bit to get out of the way, so you move your arm up and full rotation in there. Ball joint in there somewhere. There's nothing hiding this joint too much, apart from the shoulder pad, I guess. So I guess some of the engineering here is based on the much older Jango Fett figure arts. Because just in the last few years, these joints have advanced so much, so they probably just took the Jango Fett figure and just worked on that to update this just a little bit. So we've got some older stuff there. And then we have this upper joint here, which I really hate. Like, look, if I want a joint cut like that, I would have gotten a Black Series figure. Okay? So I'm not a fan of this joint at all. I get it, it's there so you can do his proper, like, you know, rifle holding stance. But come on, why is this so obvious? Like, ugh. You know what? I'd take that back for the Hasbro stuff. It would have been better if they just put the joint in there so you can just rotate his elbow. That's what the Hasbro stuff does. And it's one of their, I guess, better joints. I praise Hasbro over Figuarts and Bandai. So anyway, so got this ugly joint there, that's annoying. Double-ish elbow joints and go up quite far, and hands on a peg and swivel. Some joint go a little bit back. Yeah, that's the problem. That gap. I don't think that gap wouldn't really happen as much if they did the more traditional cutting of an SH Figuarts stomach. And you move up just a little bit. He really can't move too much. And wow, that's a really big gap there. That's probably the reason why he's so cheap. You know, for Figuarts. They got these joints there, and these pouches to get out of the way, and they're just hollow on the other side. Damn it! And these little rocket thrusters are on those little ball joints, so that's nice. Those little black bits, I do have a little bit of a dent there, but for most people, if they just look at it, they might think it's just painted on. But no, there's actual dents there. And then the legs, they don't come down. They sort of use a real bone type joint. So you can see that's nice. That's probably new. I don't think they. I'm not sure if the Jango Fett one had them, but because these are newer design philosophy with the leg joints, it also means he can't really move too much with these legs because it's really bulky and tight. There's one point where I wish the legs would come down just a little bit. Just a little bit. He does have some butt flaps there, but they're not really coming down. Oh well. So, can he do a rider kick? Sort of. Kinda. Bit of a stretch. Come on. Oh, kinda. You can do a kick, sort of. But aside from that, the movement itself is very smooth. Moving down to the knee, it is a double joint, and this arm piece does hide it quite well. It's quite secure there. A lot of times these aren't like glued down or anything, but this one seems to be quite secure. And feet has very limited articulation. Moves just a little bit up, a little bit down, a little bit sideways, and toes go up. Do toes go down? No, they don't. Starting with the paint job, the colors look quite right. He's a little bit on the more saturated side, and he's also a bit more on the flat side, I guess. But the overall smooth look of the figure is very nice, and I like this paint job a lot. It's better than, you know, just sort of shiny plastic, so the matte finish is definitely quite nice. Articulation is decent enough for how he is. Like, you know, some of the joints move very smoothly. This figure feels like it will last a long time and not have any breakage because it just moves so nicely when I'm posing him. The molding details are pretty good on this figure. A lot of the details are molded in, and the suit itself looks good, the armor looks very nice, the dent in his helmet, the little details on his weapons and knee pads and stuff, all of that looks really good. The quality of the paint job itself is also pretty decent. I don't really notice anything that's printed out of line or painted in the wrong place, so that's pretty nice. However, for figure arts, this figure has a lot of problems. First of all, I'm really disappointed that the rocket doesn't come off, I can't do anything with it. And second, I really hate that upper shoulder joint, where you see a big cut in the figure. I'm also not a fan of his feet joint because they seem far too stiff, far too limited, and that's going to really affect his posability and how he can stand. One way to fix that is to do what they've done with other figure arts, where the lowest part of his trousers is actually its own separate piece that can be pushed up a little bit, just a little bit, when doing more extreme poses. Same goes with his hip and upper leg joint as well. His posability there is also very limited. And I know some of you out there might also be a little bit disappointed that he doesn't come with any effects parts. For example, some fire flames to plug into his little rocket boosters in the back. I know a lot of people would love to have an accessory like that. So if you do collect accessory cards and stuff, perhaps you can borrow something from Forze. That might work. His his loose pieces, his cape and those little string pieces on his shoulders can also get a little bit annoying during posing. His cape comes off very easily and also gets in the way. It's not quite soft enough to be convenient. So yeah, that's annoying. And the string pieces do pop down or pop off sometime or just move all over the place. That can get a little bit annoying. If I paid the original price for this figure, I definitely would have been a little bit upset, but I'm glad the price went down for this. For its current asking price, this figure is very good, like for its price. But if you're looking something that ticks all the boxes of other figure arts releases, you might come out a little bit disappointed. So I guess at the end of the day, I am quite happy with this Boba Fett figure. If I paid the original price for it, I would have expected a lot more from this, a lot more fine tuning, a little bit more in the accessory department. But for what I paid, I am definitely happy with what I've got right here. So there you go, pretty clean looking figure. If you want more rendering and stuff, I guess the Black Series has a bit of that going on. So there you go, pretty good figure for the price. And yes, I do have the new Darth Vader and Stormtrooper SH figures with me, so I will be reviewing those soon, hopefully. And I'll definitely be comparing the new to the old Darth Vader as well as the new Stormtrooper to some of the old ones. I don't have the Rogue One Stormtrooper, so I won't be comparing that one. And in terms of Star Wars figures, I did pick up a Black Series IG-11, and no, I'm not going to be crapping all over it, because I actually kind of like that figure, so kudos to Hasbro there, but more on that in that video. As always, you can support this channel by leaving a comment below how you think about this figure, and will you be picking it up, or if you already picked one up, or it's on delivery, you're waiting for it, it's in a plane somewhere. You can also support this channel by clicking the thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and please share this video with other people who you think might be interested in picking this figure up. As always, you can support this channel by watching my videos at Block Turned Off, and do please check out my photo shoots and stuff in the Facebook and Instagram links below. You can also support this channel by Patreoning it, and of course, most importantly, take care, have a nice day. I'll see you guys soon. May the Force be with you.